There are a lot of parties that have actually laid complaints with the IEC. They've spoke about their grievances. The IEC has indicated that they are going to give all of the parties until 6 p.m. today, and they will try and resolve all of the grievances that have been raised. But you bring in Mr. Kunene. Say thank you so much for joining us. Has your party raised any grievances with the IEC?
Yes, indeed. When you look at the garden route, some of our votes were attributed to the PAC. And we raised it with the IEC and it was corrected. Those votes were returned to the PA by the IEC. But we also raised some other grievances this morning at the MPLC. Our election head raised this issue where our counting sheets, when you look at the number of votes on the counting sheet, that has been signed by our party agents. And what comes out online is two different numbers. And this is one of the biggest grievances that we have, because if it can happen in many or a few voting stations, it means it is happening elsewhere. And that's what we are trying to say to the IEC. This needs to be resolved because one cannot just accept that you have signed for this number of votes, but what you see online is different. And that's what we are getting the IEC to try and correct. In fact, not to even try to correct, because it is only fair on us as parties to get the exact number that we have signed for.
Okay. Despite these challenges, the Patriotic Alliance is one of those parties that surprised a lot. What do you attribute this performance? This is the first time you're performing in the provincial and national elections. What do you attribute this success to?
I attribute it to our messages. I attribute it to the work that was done by the patriots on the ground. We went, we visited churches, we visited people, we did door to door. We spoke to people. We went to youth groups. We went to women groups. Our women alliance was working. So I attribute it to the hard work of the patriots, but also the message that the president, Gethin McKenzie, was putting out there, the message that we're putting out there as the party. We still have to verify once everything is done where the votes have come from and which message impacted which people. But as things stand, I will attribute it to our message. And as you would know, one of our messages is that we are bringing God back into schools. We are mass deporting illegal immigrants. And I think those are the two messages that came out strong. And we are still standing by those messages. Okay.
We did hear the leader of the Patriotic Alliance saying that one of the negotiations, the key things that you will ask for is that Minister of Home Affairs position. Is that the only negotiation, the only thing that you're going to ask for in the negotiations?
No, it is not the only thing. I think he was responding to a question of which ministry we wouldn't want to budge. And we're saying the ministry where we would want to budge is the Ministry of Home Affairs, because that is where we can be able to implement our turnaround strategy for the country, which some parties call it manifesto. So that is a very strong manifesto point, and we are serious about implementing that particular manifesto point, mass deportation of illegal immigrants.
Have you already started speaking to any political parties, and which parties are you talking to?
We have not spoken to anyone. We will wait for whoever wants to call us and have a discussion with us. But we are still saying it's 99%, 99.35% is not yet 100%. Let's wait for 100% to happen, and we will see who comes to us. Remember, from 2021, we have been consistent that we'll go into coalition with anyone, as long as we agree on the principles of how to govern, on the principles of service delivery, on the principles of a clean government that is not corrupt. As long as we agree on those basic principles that will see the lives of our people going forward, we'll go into coalition with anyone.
We know that there was some troubles, in particular when it comes to the DA in Johannesburg. The DA didn't want anything to do with the Patriotic Alliance. Do you still want to speak to them? You spoke about speaking to everyone. Do you want to speak to a party like the DA?
The ANC has given us headaches, has lied to us, has not implemented what we agreed on. In Ekurhuleni, even in the city of Johannesburg, there's been teething problems. But it's the nature of coalitions. Remember, the ANC and the DA are used to governing by themselves. So in a coalition, they forget themselves. So in as much as we are unhappy with the DA, we are also unhappy with the ANC. But we are saying we have not won outright. Therefore, we must continue engaging until such time that we find each other and we govern our people as per the mandate with their votes.
The PA president spoke about you as the PA and the EFF being kingmakers in these elections. Any talk between yourselves and the EFF? Because there are some differences when it comes to the immigration policies of the two parties.
He also included the Inkatha Freedom Party, because when you look at the numbers, those are the three parties that would become kingmakers. Look, we have not spoken to the EFF, they have not spoken to us. That's where it is right now.
Okay. And what do you want to say to the PA supporters that have voted to your party?
We want to thank all South Africans that have voted for this party. It is not only members of Patriotic Alliance, but also patriotic South Africans who have voted for us. Patriotic South Africans who have welcomed our message. Patriotic South Africans who believe in the leadership of Gayton McKenzie and the leadership of Kenny Kunene. And we are humbled by their vote, by the support that they've shown in us. We will continue to work harder. We will not disappoint. We will push this message until South Africans get this message properly and they realize that we are the last hope for South Africans.
Thank you so much, sir. That is the Deputy Leader of the Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene.